Okay, let's take a look, see what we've got here. Returns and credits, we talked about that briefly. After the fact on an invoice, we briefly talked about that. In invoice transfer, it's just a different kind of invoice. Finish the process. Kate, did we finish the process on what you were doing as far as everything? Did you guys have any questions?
Well, plus or minus the expense receipts, which actually is the final thing you do with the purchase order. Once you've received your cheapest shoes, you have to expense it. So maybe.
Okay, we'll actually cover that probably on Thursday when we kind of get into like expenses and payables and that kind of stuff. Okay, awesome. And location-specific inventory. Those are kind of some of the things that we had on our tick list here. We have about a half an hour, a little over half an hour left. What can we do to help you guys? And hopefully, even from when we started this morning, like it was kind of like, oh my goodness. And now you've seen it enough times, like, okay, we're just on the edit main page. It's not that big of a deal. Like, you'll get more and more used to it as far as some of the flow and some of where the things are going on that type of thing. What can we do for you guys? What can we do for helping you out?
Do you have one of those play companies that doesn't have anything in it? It's just the company set up?
No, but if you need one, you would just need to talk to us and we could get you hooked up on that. Brand spanking new, like blank, 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 okay? What we do on most of the play sites is we try to make sure that it really is being play site. That's how Adilas makes their money, is kind of selling these little hosting packages, if that makes sense. So if we gave everybody a blank one and all of a sudden they're like, sweet, I just gotta.
Yeah, no. I just wondered, because I just, like I said, I don't know anything about your.
Okay.
Steve's going to work with me all day on Tuesday to set her company up, so I just wanted to have some general knowledge in my head as to, like, where to start, that kind of stuff.
So there's a special login. If you would like to know this, we can give this out for free as well. It's called Adilas Demo, and basically it'll allow you to get into a ton of different play sites. All day today we've pretty much been in this Bob Marley one. I'm just going to kind of clear this cart real quick so I can log out.
I think I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, when I go to do the cash store and everything, and I have to go into today's, I always have to log myself out and use Melissa's password to get into all that information. How can I do it to where I don't have to log out?
Permissions.
So yeah, why don't you start and just show us how, like, where to find permissions and how to create an employee and just the basic stuff that an admin would do.
Okay. If there's an A in there.
Yeah, cannabis.
Okay. I was going to show you the Adilas demo login, but it's okay. We're just in a demo site here. Now, on users, okay, remember how we showed you that users is actually technically one of our big main 12 pieces? Okay, you have to have pretty high permission even to be able to set up a user, because that's where you actually dictate where their permissions are, okay? So let's pretend that let's go take a look what we have. I'm going to go to the classic homepage, and I'm going to click down here, and I'm going to say Add Edit Payees and Permissions. I'm going to hit Go. Let's see who we have in here right now. Okay, we've got quite a few different ones as far as different people. Let's come up with somebody that's brand new so we can enter them into the system, okay? How about
Peyton Manning.
Okay, the quarterback, absolutely. Alrighty, so what we're going to do is last name, M-A-N. Is it M-M-A-N-N?
M-A-N-N-I-N-G.
I was just going to put in a little bit to see what we had. I'm going to hit search. It says, hey, I don't have this. This looks very similar to adding a new vendor. Okay, watch this. Add a new payee. So we're going to kind of put a new person in there. What's their first name? Peyton Manning. Let's call him Peyton Manning. Does that sound good for a username? Mm-hmm. We enter his email address.
And username is what you're using to log in. It's not like what's going, and it's also what shows up on your screen in your main screen, so you know whose login you're underneath. It'll pop up right in the center of the main.
Okay, I'm just kind of popping through some of these fields right here. Sorry, my bad. Sorry, I clicked, I was too quick on the keystrokes here. Alrighty. So it basically popping through any of the ones that have required fields. Phone number, Social Security, whatever, whatever. What's his time zone? We're going to put him in Mountain Time Zone. This is for clocking in and out. And now I have permissions galore. There are over 100 permissions that I can actually assign to him. Okay, what do we want Peyton to do? Just barely anything, or do we want to?
Go into like today's so we can do the register and get big.
Okay, so let's pretend that he was actually going to be helping us with deposits. Okay, so watch this. You're going to want to spend some time and actually read what these different permissions are. You do not want to just go click, 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 click. You're virtually opening every door in the entire system. Okay, it does take a little bit longer, but remember how earlier today we were talking about the roles-based, where you just had sales and accounting and stuff like that? It's too generic. You literally want that granular control over them. Watch this. So I would go here, I'd come down and I'd find deposits. I'd turn that one on for him.
Now, go back up to MMJ item. There you go. Let's have them do that.
Okay, cool. So check this out. These are the search options. This is going to load your quick search. Look at this little thing way up here at the top. Which pieces do you want the person to have in their quick search? Okay, that's what these little permissions are basically doing right now. Okay, so we said MMJ item, we said deposits. I'm going to kind of scroll down a little bit, and we're just going to keep him specific to deposits, just to kind of show you how it builds on the thing. I'm going to come down through here. I'm not going to give him any sort of clocking in and out, password profiles, no special calculators, no elements of time. Okay, under system reports, I might give him bank stuff because he's going to need to know how to do some of that stuff. Running bank balance. I'm not going to give him any sort of P&L, any sort of different stuff like this. I'm going to come down. He's going to skip basic quotes and recipes and all this kind of stuff. We're going to skip add to cart. These are all things that normally would happen. Click and click. 61 and 62, basic deposit, basic sales. He's not even going to get admin type features, okay? I'm going to come down a little bit lower. Technically, at this point, I can get him in and he can just deal in deposits, okay, at this point. So I would scroll all the way down towards the bottom. There's tons of different things, and you're going to want to kind of look through here and kind of figure out what the different pieces are. But this is your control of your users, who gets what, okay? Come down to the bottom, and I'm going to hit add that payee, okay? And it just wants to say, hey, just so you know, if they're doing clock in and out, you might want to assign them to a department because he can't do that yet. Watch this. I'm going to go ahead and go like this. Log out, and I'm going to go like this. This is Peyton now coming in. Okay, he gets a welcome screen. He hits continue to home page. This is all he has on his stuff. We gave him 2 search permissions. We gave him the deposit homepage, and we gave him the running bank balance. That's the only permissions. This is the classic homepage. I just wanted to show you how it builds according to the permissions. So technically, he can come in here and say, deposit homepage, go. He's now here, and he can say, create a new deposit, and say he doesn't know even how much it's going to be. Say he's going to do Wells Fargo. And we'll fill this in later. I'm not sure how much he's really going to deposit. We'll actually talk more about deposits on day 3 when we're actually dealing with kind of the accounting type stuff. Basic deposit, we hit add. So here's where the piece comes in as far as like all the different little invoice sales that we could technically add to it. You can see we've got some old data in here, 9s and 12s, and like a long time ago, somebody hasn't really been updating all of their pieces. As a matter of fact, there's actually 5 pages of this. So if we wanted to, just to see what we did today, what's the date today? The 28th? go get what I've got for today. So that's a much easier list. Basically, here's where you can click everything to add everything to the list, or you would usually look through and the Visa would not actually go on that same deposit. Check, 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 and cash, those can all go on the same deposit, no problem, okay? We would come down here, and this is where we select what's going to happen. We're going to say, hey, it's just the basic Denver dispensary. Add that to the deposit. So what it's doing is it's basically saying from all of these invoices, 1409, 1414, it's pulling in how much of the different pieces, including the piece that we gave back to the person, that $4.04, okay? It's all kind of part of the master thing. Guess what? We've got a disconnect. This is the exact same thing you've seen on every single thing. Once a disconnect happens, we flag it in multiple places, okay? You can't get the printable, you can't get to a bunch of things. What do you think you're going to do? Edit the main, okay? Once you learn these processes, you're like, oh my goodness, there it is, it's right there. So the total is $540, okay, and 84 cents.
Oh, that's why you had 0.
$540 and 84 cents. And we say, go ahead. And as soon as it matches, we lose all the little flags. We now have printable options. We have, in the edit line items page, I have options to kind of like actually go to the invoices. I can remove things. If you're an admin user, you even have options to edit these pieces. We didn't assign an admin deposit functionality, so he was just able to create it. He can't really do much more than that. Does that make sense? Watch this. If I actually show you the history, guess who did what? Peyton. Like, it's now, everything that Peyton's doing is now virtually being tracked behind the system because I'm logged in as Peyton now. Okay? Does that make sense? That we haven't really shown you much of this right here. This little graphic, you see this little plates and cups? One of these little cups is a thing called system history. And what it's doing is it's virtually saying who's playing, what's happening, who touched it, who tweaked it. Like, we're tracking all that stuff behind the scenes. It creates a virtual audit trail and accountability as far as who's doing what and who's touching things. But
yeah, you can see if people are clocking in and out and what IP address. So if your employees are going home and clocking in and out from their home, trying to get paid for their drive time, you'll be able to see
My
that.
thing is, when I'm having to log out, sometimes it takes like a half hour to get all that done. Well, I'm in hers, so I'm not getting paid for that half hour.
Oh yeah, see, well then make sure that you're clocking in under your name, because no matter if you're logged in or logged out.
Yeah, right now, that's why I'm trying to figure this out. I have to log out and put hers in.
Yeah, but once you clock in.
so you don't clock out.
You clock
You
out.
can log out.
Yeah, you can, logging in and out is irrelevant to clocking in and out.
Yeah.
Clocking in and out is
You
payroll.
don't get clocked out when you log out.
Yep.
So if I go into my system and I clock in and now I log out because I don't want someone bringing in under my name, I'm still working. I'm still on the clock. It's still registered. Now if I go home and I don't clock out, I'm still getting paid for all my sleep and all that cool stuff that I'm doing on Saturday morning until I go back in and clock out. So obviously it's going to raise a red flag if that happens. It'll say, hey, why were you working for 72 hours? Oh, I wasn't. So
It throws a flag and says, oh, check the dates.
Okay.
There's a problem there. So it kind of helps you out that way.
So that's completely separate, the clocking in and clocking out. So that's always good. I always recommend putting in notes, no matter what, just in case you do forget or anything like that. I always make all my employees put a time and a date and their initials. And that way,
Lunch and, you know.
exactly. That way, if I'm late and they're standing outside waiting for me, they can put was here at 7:30. He was late. Happens. So it's nice. It's 2 weeks from now when I'm doing payroll. I'm obviously not going to be like, oh gosh, was Alicia here on time on the 23rd of December? Who knows? I don't. So that's why notes are just super important. Anytime you do anything in the system, date, initials, and why.
Record the story. Record the story. That's what we like to kind of say there. Do you guys want to see some basic clocking in and out real quick? That's a little piece that we could do. So I'm gonna log out because I'm currently in as Peyton, okay? But I have very limited functionality. Like literally, I have nothing that I can really even do here. So I'm gonna log out of him, okay? And we're gonna come back in under Bob Marley. So Bob Marley, clocking in and out. Say I'm just getting here. I'm going to work the swing shift tonight. clock in and out. I click on this. Because I've already been assigned to a department, which is currently called sales, like you can create as many departments as you need to. For the accounting people, this is actually where you create the link between the user and what their tax settings are. It's kind of the department connection, if that makes sense. What dependencies are they doing? How many, et cetera, like, are they single, married? That's all in a relationship between departments and users. That's where that's stored. Sales, right here, I'm going to say, so right here it says currently clocked in, somebody clocked in at 2:16. So let's say that I'm going home now instead, okay? So basically going home, and the notes are not required, but if you wanted to, that's a great journal to kind of let you know what's going on.
And whoever's doing payroll, you can clean this up accordingly, be able to view it per employee and what they're doing.
Awesome. Now you'll notice if it's just the employee clocking in and out, they have no edit options, like nothing as a hot link to get back to these different pieces of the puzzle. Okay? Somebody's been in here playing a number of different times. Like I know we didn't do this as a class, clocking in and out. We clicked on it one time, but we didn't even finish the process. So somebody else is kind of in here playing right now. So as soon as you go to clock in and out again, it'll prompt you and be like, hey, the last thing you did was this on this date. Now I'm looking for a clock. Oh, this one wants to know which department. So say you get paid different rates at different things if I'm doing this or this. So say I just want to start work, boop, clock in. So what happens is it automatically kind of says, okay, I'm trying to see here. So I'm gonna click it again. Just 1 second. I'm not sure if somebody else is doing it or whatever. But basically, what it should have done right there is kind of been like, hey, I'm still outstanding. Like I haven't fully clocked out on this thing. I just wanted to see. Okay, so somebody must also be in there, and they did the same thing, and they clocked out just barely after me. So like that's why I was like, whoa, what's happening? I'm going to pretend like I'm starting work again and hitting clock in. See, this is what I was looking for. I was like, whoa, somebody must have actually been in there, and because we're all logged in under the same person, they were following the same process, and they actually clocked me in and out, like immediately, like basically like as if nothing happened, okay? But I just wanted to show you if you haven't finished the process, it kind of like flags it. Hey, it still needs to be done, okay? I can't edit anything from this particular interface. If I have the permissions, I actually can go in and I can modify stuff. So watch this. If I go home, and my home page won't have enough options, so I'm going to go classic home page, and I'm going to go system liabilities and admin time clock, and I'm going to click on here. Once again, this is a permission. Watch this. Here's Bob Marley, all the different little things that happened. Say started work at 9, but guess what? It's showing 10:01. If I have the admin permissions, I can click on this right here, and I can say, great, I can back that up. I vouch for that. That looks great. 9 a.m., update that. Click. Okay, as soon as I do that, when I go back to my admin time clock, you'll notice it adds a little flag. Hey, somebody modified this record right here, okay? But now it's technically going from 9 until 11, so the 2 hours.
Can you like click on that and see who modified it?
Absolutely. You would go here. Then what you would do is you would kind of say, hey, modified here, and then down below it'll even kind of show additional histories if it needs to as far as like what's going on. It'll tell you exactly who touched it. Like that's just a neat little built-in piece to Adilas. Who touches what? We kind of help record all of those pieces. Matter of fact, if you wanted to see who did what throughout the day, this is one of my favorite pieces. Like you have to be kind of an admin user. This is a permission, but it's called the history homepage. I'm going to go to my classic homepage, system reports, history homepage, go. This is one of my favorite reports because this tells me what happened today or this week or this month. So deposits, 1 for 540. We did that together. Okay. Here's all the little line items that went to that. Here's invoices. There was a total of 13 for $940. We did 1 counter sale, 11 patient invoices, 1 transfer. Here's all my different little items. Here's my taxes. Like, this is a great little report as far as like what's happening and what's going on. POs, some different little queue records. 5 different people were added to the queue today, type thing. Like just that came in. We're just kind of faking our data, but this is where you get your information. You want to go deeper? You can even go like this. Can you show me exactly who touched what? If you click on this, what it does is it'll actually go in and say, pull me a report and show me who was in where. It looks like Steve was actually in doing some invoices and POs, and Peyton Manning, he did a couple deposit pieces right here, and Bob Marley's been really busy all day today. And if I needed to, I could even click on this and be like, okay, Mr. Bob Marley, let's click on invoice history. What happened here? Created. Oh, invoice was voided. Like, I've got almost the play-by-play in a way of what's going on. This is all behind the scenes as far as what happens. This is kind of more on the admin side, but it helps to kind of keep all the story together, if that makes sense. Awesome. The history homepage is a great little place for you to play. Right here, it's currently showing for this date. All you have to do is go like this. What if I wanted to kind of run this for a couple years just for fun? What if we did 1/1 of 10, clear out to 1/31 of 14? So go get me basically a 3-year span, okay, or 4-year span. Sorry, my bad. Quick, go get it. It'll crunch the report, and it's going to come back and kind of show me everything that I've been doing, and then I virtually will have drill down links right to that data. So it's thinking right here for just a second. Okay, it came back. So I've got elements of time, 27, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I've got this. I've got deposits, 111 of them. 921 line items were added to that. Here's my totals here. Here's my discounts. Here's my invoices. I ran 1,400 for close to $500,000, et cetera, et cetera. Like, this is a great little report. It shows you your status of what's going on. And at any point in time, if you wanted to be like, okay, tell you what, this $500,000, show me what we actually did. Okay, here's what you did. You gave a total of this much discounts, this much went to fees and others, here's how much you sold, boom, 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 all these groupings, and if you needed to, you could even jump into details of those pieces. That's showing you some of your pieces. Cool, I've kind of just been running off at the mouth a little bit. Do you guys have any questions? Cool. We've got about 15 minutes. What I would love to do is, does anybody have any other questions? Otherwise, what I'd like to do is kind of do a little pop around the room and see if you guys can kind of make a comment about the day, just like either what you learned or what you'd like to get out of it tomorrow. And once we're done with that, we'll call it a day. All righty? Awesome. Awesome. Cool. Are you okay to start? Just a general comment.
Well, out of this, I got a lot of organization skills. I was doing some useless actions, and I feel like I can consolidate all those actions into just a few steps instead of like taking up.
Sure. You know, it does take time to enter some of this data. It really does. It's just kind of part of the deal.
I was just doing it the long way.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Awesome. That's good. Randy, thank you very much for jumping up here, buddy. I appreciate that. Let's have you make a comment.
As far as today, my usage of Atlas has a lot more to do with the POs and stuff, but I learned a lot of stuff about as far as the sales side of the company, that I had no idea about, before, which is, so I can kind of, I can see how, like, my budtenders in our store, actually, the processes that they actually have to go through, in order to get everything working, basically from, it's just like a whole different side for me to see that part of it when I'm so focused on the other side of it, which is the inventory side, which is the, all that stuff. So it's been really informative in that aspect.
Awesome. Good. Sounds good. Let's go right here in the middle. And was it Sharon?
Yes. I've been on a lot of different systems. So, the information generally is the same. But I think this program is going to be great to have everything on it. And I can just go, I can look at all my stores
Awesome, awesome.
Looking forward to it. Of course, then again, it's.
Yeah. It does take work, it does, just straight up. But like, we have provided the tools so you can get it done. You really can. You can get it done. All right? Awesome. How about back in the back? Dana, can we have you make a comment?
I feel pretty fortunate because I'm able to have like my main people, my right hand men with me today. And so we all focus on asking for our company. So that's really nice to hear. They can retain their own information and their own little parts and they know what everybody else does too. But we definitely learned quite a few tricks that we didn't know stuff.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Help me with your name? Okay, Evelyn.
I could probably just go off of that. A lot of the tricks I've learned on the system, that's the only system I know in the MMJ class. It helps a lot of little tricks with the POs and stuff, this only special live, we didn't know about that. And then the receiving, that would be a lot easier, ordering POs and stuff, so just a lot of tricks for stuff that we're doing, that's gonna make it a lot smoother process.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you very much. And help me with the name? Lisa? Okay.
Yeah. I guess I know a little bit more than I did when I started, because I didn't know anything when I started.
It's not quite as intimidating.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see as it progresses, like I said, Steve's gonna work with me on Tuesday, all day setting up the company, so, the bottom goal here for me is to become a consultant, so the more I know, the better off I'm gonna be.
Awesome. There is money to be made there, I promise, okay? Mrs. Kate is going to be getting tons of business just by saying, guess what? I know some Adilas. Come here. Let's hire you for a couple hours. Kate, you're going to get busy. But you know what? That is power. If you know that, it's very powerful. It's awesome. It's good stuff. Thank you, Lisa. Awesome. Looks like she's on the phone right there. Kate, yep, and help me with the name. Chris.
Geez, it's an awesome, very big system. That's what she decides to roll with, as opposed to this, which you can't log on to at the moment. So, I'm impressed. Intimidated for sure. I don't like how you have to go back and forth. I do not have time for that.
Sure.
If I've got customer, I'm just manually writing this stuff down. If it slows down, then I'll go in and go back and forth. And I just have to figure out how to do the joints. Yeah, the joints and the buttons. Figure that out, I guess.
It'll come, Chris. It'll come, okay?
Yeah.
It'll come. You've had some great questions today. I love the questions that you provided today. They were awesome. Super, super good there. Awesome. Good stuff. Ladies from the Connect, let's have you just make a quick little comment.
Well, we enjoyed learning how to put things in buckets so we don't have all these extra vendors.
Awesome. Kind of the generic inventory stuff. That'll save a bunch of time, okay?
Oh, yeah.
You'll still have to go back through and do that find and replace to kind of get everything fixed, but that's how you create the general buckets. Okay, awesome. Do you have any comments?
Just the things that are already in there, I can go back and change those and make a bucket, can I not?
You can. Anything that's in there is also plays part of that puzzle, and you can edit it. Okay, you can make it right. No problem. Good. Was it Eric?
Eric, yeah.
Eric, let's have you make a comment real
I
quick.
think everybody's kind of touched on the shortcuts and tricks and those sort of things, and that's definitely awesome. That was also one part that we haven't used, kind of jumping right into it just to be able to use it to ring people out. I think one piece that we have not used yet is where we started at the beginning of the day with the plants and how to make that happen from clone to out the door.
Awesome.
So I think plugging in that big timeline with that is kind of cool to see that you can do that and how to do it. So,
Cool.
and the traceability of it all along the way. So,
Perfect. Excellent. Sounds good. Shannon, you know what? We've got 2 more people, and then I'll release you. We're real close. You guys are doing awesome. Thank you for your patience. Appreciate it. Shannon, let's have you make a comment.
I was just thinking, there's a lot of help in the system too, as well. Sometimes when you're new,
looks really intimidating because you feel like this person knows where to click and they just go through this whole process and do it. When you get on a page, there's really a lot of helpful links at the top that kind of say, hey, you could go here or kind of go here, and you can click on stuff, check it out. I think that's most helpful. There's a lot more help there than it sometimes seems when you see a power user just fly through it and you're like, what am I doing? So
Almost everything has a help.
it does have that as well. But has a lot of guidance in it as well with the links and various things.
Cool, cool. So let's have our closing remarks. Kate, let's have you make a comment and let's actually give Kate another round of applause.
Thank you guys. I just want to say that you guys are awesome, and I actually learned some things as well, and that is what's so cool about Adilas is there's always 8 million ways to do something, so it's just a matter of learning it first and then figuring out what shortcuts are. And that's when light bulbs go off, and that's what's so brilliant is actually you'll be doing something within a PO, and then you'll realize I can use that in my items page, I can use this on my invoices, whatever. It all pieces together, and it all does become much easier as you go along and as you see the patterns. So, but thank you guys as well.
Perfect, perfect. So tomorrow we're going to be doing customers and flex grids and elements of time and some stuff like that, and touching a little bit briefly again on inventory, but like the focus tomorrow is more towards customers.